Coming up tonight, a former Attorney General is calling on women to band together to put an end to discrimination against their gender. Plus, in keeping with lessening unemployment numbers, the Cable Bahamas group of companies held a career fair over the weekend. And the Bahamas Chinese Dragon Boat Festival is back. Practice is being held and the details are straight ahead as our news weekend starts now. Welcome to our news, the weekend edition, and thanks for joining us. Berthany McDermott. A former Attorney General calling on women to band together to put an end to discrimination against women. She's urging lawmakers to pass the legislation, which she says will give relief to many women who can't pass on their citizenship.
We women have to just get ready to act if we need to, like the suffragettes did.
Following that landmark ruling from the Privy Council this week, former Attorney General Alison Maynard Gibson says it still enforces discrimination against women. The ruling now makes way for a Bahamian man to pass his citizenship on to his out-of-wedlock child, even if the mother is a foreigner. But it still leaves out women who remain unable to pass on their citizenship. Maynard Gibson says she's confident the government will pass the gender legislation that will allow women to pass on their citizenship.
It's still second best because the Constitution still discriminates against women. But the reality is that those women who are in stressful situations because they cannot get their children regularized or their husbands regularized, the bill will deal with that. The legislation will deal with that.
The issue has been a point of contention for many for quite some time. Maynard Gibson is of the opinion that lawmakers shouldn't take too long in addressing the matter. She says women continuing to be discriminated against sends a strong message about how women are regarded.
I want to abide. I want to wait and see what does the government do before we jump to conclusions. But having said that, I do want to say that to your question, that I urge the decision makers, the policy makers, to understand that inaction sends as clear a message as action. And where women continue to be discriminated against, that sends a very, very strong message.
Police need your help in finding a 21-year-old man who went missing at sea on Saturday. What we can tell you is shortly before 10 p.m. that night, the man, along with another family member, was on board a boat in the area of Little Whale Key off the Berry Islands. Police say that's when he fell overboard and has not been seen since. The Bahamas Air, Sea and Rescue Association, along with the Police Marine Unit, were contacted. Officials started searching immediately with no results. Police say the matter remains under active investigation. Less than 5 years away from the end of the moratorium on gaming, Chairman of the Gaming Board, Dr. Daniel Johnson, says moving forward, the focus must be on the sustainability of the industry. His comments came following the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the Gaming Board of the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Gaming Commission.
So when these issues come up, you got to speak of sustainability, and that's an industry-wide conversation. Also, we want to remain a best practice country. So we don't want this to be a wild, wild west where we got a bunch of stuff going on everywhere. No one knows what's going on. Everything will be on the table. We'll have agreements with everybody before we proceed.
Currently, the 10-year moratorium only allows for the number of gaming house operator licenses to not exceed 8. Acting Prime Minister and Minister responsible, Chester Cooper, was asked if consideration is being given to end the moratorium on gaming house licenses. To that, he said this.
These matters are not yet before the Cabinet for consideration. Once the Gaming Board has done their full consultation on these matters, they will make a report and recommendation to us for consideration. When we get that, I'll talk with you some more about it.
There's now a new Junior Minister of Tourism. Following a rigorous competition in New Providence, 16-year-old Layla Lethan from Grand Bahama won the title. The Our News team had an opportunity to speak with her outside the Grand Bahama International Airport when she landed. Italia Hall has the details.
We went on many activities. We got to know each other. We got to know more about the family islands. We had discussions. We had fun times. And this morning was our competition in which each one of us from each island gave a speech on the topic reimagining tourism 50 years and beyond.
That's Layla Lethan, a student at Grand Bahama Academy. Lethan was among 14 others to compete for the 2023 Junior Minister of Tourism title. She says she feels happy about her accomplishment.
Not only for myself, but I want to thank God for the opportunity that I've gotten, because I couldn't have done none of it without praying and reading His Word. He's taught me so much. From each and every one of these speeches, I've learned a lesson.
And she says she wants tourism to be highlighted more within schools across the country. The junior minister also had this message of encouragement for others.
I asked my aunt, I said, you really think I could beat 14 people? I don't know if I could do that. But I did that. So I want to tell students that even when it seems impossible, it's possible.
Acting principal of Grand Bahama Academy, Jeffrey Jervis, says Grand Bahama has made history.
Layla is someone who, she's a born leader. She, again, excellent communicator, very friendly, very outspoken, able to communicate how she feels.
Corenda Swain, manager at the Ministry of Tourism, says this is the third time that Grand Bahama has captured the title.
And we're looking forward to another win when she goes and represents us at the CTO conference.
Reporting for Our News Weekend, I'm Italia Hall.
Thanks, Italia. When Our News Weekend comes back from the break, we're going to hear from Bahamians who were in London during the coronation. Stay close. And the Grand Bahama Port Authority busting a serious move this week. It all came down like London Bridge. The details coming up when Our News Weekend returns.
Shareholders are very happy.
Following the coronation of King Charles III, Our News came across two Bahamians who got up early to see the festivities firsthand. Dexter Fernando and Claudette Cookie Allen are in London as the Bahamas National Youth Choir performed today at Windsor Palace as part of the Commonwealth Nations. They shared their experience as King Charles III was crowned.
I've never been involved with such crowds before, so this is a new thing, but it feels good. I mean, it's all exciting to be involved in something like this.
It just feels like an organized Junkanoo period. We're up early. We're never going to see a transition like this, so we're here just to be on the ground and in the excitement of the moment.
As the choir was showcased on the international stage today, Fernando said it's important for the Bahamas to be represented at these events.
Being part of the Commonwealth, we anticipated that the Bahamas would represent it, all of the bilateral meetings that happen and where we stand within the Commonwealth. So this transition is important to us, what we understand as our Westminster system. And so as we are a Commonwealth country, I'm glad that we have representation here. I understand there are some events that are happening here for the 50th, the road to 50th, and I'm just proud to be Bahamian at this moment.
The Grand Bahama Port Authority making a major move this week by demolishing the Asian and African structures in the International Bazaar. The once historic site was damaged by fire and had fallen in a state of disrepair. Vice President of the Building and Development Services, Nikira Wilshcombe, says there are a number of other demolition projects in the pipeline.
We have a number of areas that have been targeted within the Caravel Beach area, within the East Section area, and again those appeals have been made to the owners to come and talk with us about the necessary demolitions that need to happen, about the state of their buildings, about their ability or inability to repair those buildings. And so our plan continues to rid the city of these structures, and we're going to continue progressing and agitating these owners to until we have the ability to do so. Obviously, as Renato said, there are sometimes financial constraints for us because it is the Port Authority in many of the cases obviously financing the demolition exercises, but we definitely want persons who own these structures to come and talk with us to see how we could assist in this process.
Still to come, the Cable Bahamas group of companies taking care of the community with a career fair. Stay tuned for that, and Dragon Boat Racing is back. We have the details when Our News Weekend returns.
At Doctors Hospital, our lamp just got brighter. The Loyalty Advantage membership program now has 3 unique plans to choose from. From Lamp Prepaid with free prime care visits and service line discounts, Lamp Insured with copay waivers and 0 upfront collections at the ER and inpatient services, or our new Lamp Access, a free plan that offers 10% off lab, pharmacy, and imaging. Lamp has a plan for everyone. To sign up, visit our website or give us a call. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now.
This is Our News Weekend. Welcome back. Students in Exuma were recipients of scholarships and trips this weekend at the Career College and Entrepreneurship Expo held at the Sandals Resort this week. The fair was put on by Acting Prime Minister and Area Member of Parliament Chester Cooper.
I received a 100% paid tuition to go to St. George's in Grenada to study biomedical sciences.
Irvin Cooper is just one student who walked away from the Career College and Entrepreneurship Expo with a scholarship. He shares the significance of this kind gesture.
It means a lot considering my parents don't have to pay as much as we paid for my sister to go to college. And I think it is a wonderful opportunity that Team Chester is doing for the students, and especially for those whose parents cannot afford it. I feel it's an amazing opportunity.
But he wasn't the only one to leave the expo with an amazing opportunity. Marvinette Adderley is an 11th grade student at Ellen Coakley High School. She got the opportunity to travel to France.
I was a recipient of a 2-week trip to France to CFAM, which is a college in France. I am in the 11th grade, so I now have my options open for which colleges I would probably be attending.
The expo saw schools like BTVI. There was also the Customs and Immigration Departments and the National Training Agency. Acting Prime Minister and Exuma's and Ragged Island MP Chester Cooper says the initiative is in line with the vision to unlock the potential of Exuma through empowerment, education, and job readiness.
We hope that as a result of this initiative, we're not only creating leaders, but we're really helping them to achieve their objectives, their goals, whether it's career or college or entrepreneurship. We certainly know that there are a lot of opportunities in Exuma and across the Bahamas. God's been good to us, giving us a very robust economy. In Exuma, everyone's working, and now we need to look to see how we get to the next level and inspire many of our young people to get into business, create wealth, solve some of the problems on the island, providing solutions that will no doubt help them to create opportunities for themselves, their families, and others.
Island Administrator Rochelle Anderson says the expo allowed the students to see the many opportunities before them.
I like something that I think is Creighton Moxie would have said. He said this is getting them prepared for life before life. And that was something, it got my attention. And so this is something I think it was powerful because our kids now realize that there is so much more opportunity there for them. The labor force is there, of course, but you have to be prepared for it.
Wife of the Acting Prime Minister, Cecilia Cooper, says the expo provided hope for many. She trusts the students will take advantage of the opportunities.
This is what we believe in for Exuma, the youth, the future, being ready for Exuma, for the Bahamas, for the Caribbean, for the world. And events like this will always happen, and with us here in Exuma, and there will always be a way to bridge the gap that we have in society.
And congratulations to those young students. Crowds of job seekers showed up at the Phil Keepin building for the Cable Bahamas Group of Companies Career Fair. Company CEO John Gomez said the turnout exceeded his expectations.
we were actually expecting folks to come in, but when you look around at the number of persons who are actually here, people were lined from about 6 o'clock this morning to have a seat, to be the first in line. And so when you look around, the crowd is amazing, the number of persons who are currently here to take part in this opportunity that's here.
CBL Vice President of Human Resources Ed Duncombe says the company is looking to add members to its family and is hoping to drive the mission of connecting not just the Bahamas but the world. Some of the positions to be filled included customer service representatives, contact center agents, technicians, and administrative and clerical assistants. Gomez says they're looking to have the best talent pool to support the company and its customers.
When you think about the contact center, I mean, that's a very large section of the organization. We have perhaps about 70, if not more, persons in that particular area. And then also the retail sales is also a large area for the company as well. So maybe anywhere between 20 or 30 persons. And then it may not be even for this week or next week, but we're also trying to identify the best talent that is currently out there so that we have the right talent pool to be successful to continue to support the business as well and our customers.
The Bahamas Chinese Dragon Boat Association is back with its second annual Bahamas Chinese Dragon Boat Festival scheduled for the weekend of September 30th and October 1st. Nathaniel Farrington, national coach for the Bahamas Chinese Dragon Boat Association, says preparation is underway for this year's festival, and he is looking forward to an even bigger turnout than last year's.
Every Saturday from 8 to 10, we meet here at the Hilton on the beach, and we start conditioning the teams. We took a break after the last festival, so now we're just getting back into it. So all the teams that were here last year, we encourage you to come out now. Practice has begun every Saturday. So we're working on conditioning the body, paddling, organizing seating arrangements in the boat, and so that we could be prepared for this upcoming festival.
Association President Dr. Christine Chin said invites teams and corporate sponsors to get on board with this wholesome activity that promotes healthy lifestyles and supports breast cancer survivors.
Dragon boating is one of the fastest growing sports in the world today. People are very, very passionate. We've been to Panama and there was over 1,000 people participating there in March. People are enjoying it all over. It's good for especially the breast cancer survivors because it's good for upper body strength as well as physical stamina.
Right after the break, Mark Twain said weather is a literary specialty and no untrained hand can turn out a good article on it. So we just have to wait and see what's in store for us. The weather report is on its way, and our Jane Joseph has the details on the recent Jubilee Day celebrations. Stay tuned for arts and entertainment coming up right after the break.
Janae's Uniform Center. We've traveled to every island in this here land, man. We go everywhere. We can go to every rock and key, Abaco to Inagua, even Ragged Island, The Rock. Celebrate our country's 50th independence with Janae's special limited edition. Sublimated t-shirts and caps in 10 different styles and colors. Get up to 50% off on cotton polo shirts only. Don't forget to embroider your company's logo to celebrate this independence at Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Call 394-8385 or 6. WhatsApp text only 817-3295. Email sales@janaes.com.
Welcome back to Our News Weekend. The weather report is up next. Let's have a look at what's in store for us weather-wise. Many events are scheduled in the lead up to the 50th Independence celebration, and our culture will be on full display. What better way to share these moments than with some good entertainment? Join our Gene Joseph as he shares the Jubilee experience.
The
National Independence Secretariat recently hosted the 50th Independence Jubilee Day production, with various artisans telling the story of an independent Bahamas through the arts. National Independence Secretariat Chairperson Leslie Miller-Bryce explains the significance of the event set at the historic Southern Recreation Grounds.
Every year in our school systems, we celebrate Commonwealth Day, but there wasn't a day to celebrate all things Bahamian. And so we declared today our National Jubilee Day in celebration of our 50 years anniversary. And so we wanted to set the occasion in a place where history can be felt and it can be seen. And I think this was the perfect spot for such an event.
Residents heard the story accompanied by performances from top Bahamian musicians, singers, and dancers. Colors Junkanoo closed the event with a rush out and the masses spilled onto the road. Group leader Christian Justilian says cultural events like this are a key part of building a stronger community.
I don't think we realize the importance, the social aspect of bringing our communities together to enjoy music, enjoy dance, storytelling, Junkanoo, the whole 9 yards. We have a long way to go in pushing that forward, but I hope the powers that be see what happens when you can keep our citizens busy and provide an opportunity for them to share their culture, tell their story. This is a powerful thing.
Anthony A.C. Coakley, Logistics Coordinator for the National Independence Secretariat, shared more of the upcoming excitement, including more Junkanoo coming up at the end of May and the iconic ecumenical service and tattoo.
Bay Street will go back in time for the 50th on Bay experience, so that is going to be very, very, very exciting. And the Royal Bahamas Police Force has promised that they are going to put on a display that has never been seen before. And the Secretariat has some special experiences that you definitely want to be on Clifton Park come July 9th. You want to be there that night as we roll into the tent, because you're going to be blown away by the Bahamas on the big screen. Bahamas in 3D is what I'm calling it.
Miller-Bryce wants you to stay tuned and be a part of the events leading up to independence.
I'm asking you to go on to www.celebrate-bahamas.com. There's lots of activities, lots of things to do. It appeals to all walks of life. And I just want to say a very special thank you to everyone that came out this evening. The crowd was incredible. Everyone enjoyed the event. And history was on true display this evening.
There's a lot to do as we prepare to see the aquamarine black and gold on full display this independence. Enjoy the events and show your Bahamian pride. For Our News, Weekend Arts and Entertainment, I'm Gene Joseph.
Thanks, Gene, and thank you for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of our producer and the entire technical team, I'm Berthany McDermott. Continue to enjoy your weekend, everyone.